Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. Thank you for joining me wherever you are joining me. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. And if you're joining me on the YouTube channel, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Breaking news overnight about Celtics coach Udoka having an inappropriate relationship with a female worker at the Celtics organization. I think it's interesting, right? Because I don't really understand how two adults get caught. You know what I mean? Like, how does two consenting adults get quote unquote caught? The truth is that consenting adults rarely ever get caught. What happens is that one of the two usually wants the dynamic to change. Or heck, maybe even both of them want the dynamic to change. But very rarely would I say there's a situation where someone gets caught. Because in order to get caught, someone has to be looking to catch you, right? If I'm an adult and I work with the Celtics, then I don't particularly care what other adults at the school are doing. That's not my concern. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to do my job and go home. So if I see Ime Udoka and a woman together at work, I don't even think about it. It's not my business. Now, does that mean that everybody does that? Does that mean that everybody uses that kind of logic? No. No, it doesn't mean that everybody uses that logic. It means that in most parts, people are trying to just do what they got to do and mind their business. Now, you're going to find people at any place of work who their favorite thing to do is gossip, and more power to them. If that's what they do, more power to them. But for the most part, people are not looking for you. And so if you get quote unquote caught, and I use the quotes because that's how people are going to make it sound, oh, well, they got caught. No, somebody wanted this to be out, because what is in the dark will eventually come to light, especially when you're dark. You know what I'm saying? What's in the dark will definitely come to light when you're dark. When you're dark, nothing stays in the dark. Like, for us, for a guy like Ime Udoka, he should know better. I'm not even, like, again, what you do in your personal time is completely up to you. But he should know that if he plays that close to home, something is going to eventually come out. That person is going to want more. He might want more. Somebody is going to catch wind. Somebody who doesn't like him is going to start probing for things. It's a million things. There are a million things that can happen when you're him. And why do I say when you're dark? Because everything comes out for us. There are no secrets when it comes to Black men and Black women in this space. And it's not racial, it's just the truth. Like, for instance, just in the past 12 hours, I've heard more information come out on Twitter and other places that we see breaking information about athletes and coaches and sports. I've seen more information come out about Ime Udoka and his situation with the Celtics than I have heard about Brett Favre and what he did, the actual legitimate criminal activity that he was in down there at the University of Southern Mississippi. In case you guys don't know, because how would you? Because no one's really talking about it. Brett Favre was able to secure welfare money, money that should have went to people who are in need of money to live. He was able to secure $6 million of welfare money and use it to build a volleyball stadium at the University of Southern Mississippi. Now, I believe Brett Favre's daughter may have been going there. I'm not exactly sure because, again, I don't know all the information because the normal people that would be reporting this stuff, nobody talks about it. So I have to go to all of the local stations to try to figure out what is or what is not happening. Like, I don't know all this information because all of the outlets who would normally report this ad nauseum, remember how much they talked about Jameis Winston and crab legs. It was a topic of conversation all the time. A hookup that he got in college from a guy at a store was front page news. It was opening of ESPN's First Take News. And yet we don't have heavy debates going on about this Brett Favre situation. Why is that? It's because what happens in the dark will come to light, especially when you're dark. When you're doing great things, when you're trying to make things happen, and you're a black man or a black woman in this country, you got to be ready. You got to be ready because they're coming for you. I don't know why. I don't know why it's so dangerous to people. I don't know why it's so triggering to people to see black men and black women do great. But the moment that Ime Udoka started having success, remember, people were saying at the beginning of the year for Boston, hey, this Udoka hiring might be a mistake. He may not know what he's doing. All of a sudden, he got it working. The Celtics started rolling and ended up in the finals. You knew that the pendulum was about to swing the other way because that's what happens. That's what happens. Now, again, is he absolved? Because if you're never doing anything wrong, then guess what? No one can find anything on you. But if we're talking about professional sports, professional athletics, and we're talking about the way in which things are going down, we don't know what that situation is like at home. This may not be a situation where he is doing anything that his wife doesn't know about. We don't need to know that because that's none of our business. It only becomes our business when this relationship all of a sudden is caught. And like I said before, nobody gets caught when they're adults. The dynamic changes and people want to do something different. That's it. That's the only thing. No one gets caught. There's just a dynamic change. People want to do something different. Whether it's Udoka, whether it's the lady, whomever. I don't know. I don't really care. You know what I do care about? $6 million being stolen that should be going to people who really need it. When I hear the president of the United States say, hey, we're coming for these scammers. You know, the PPP loans, all of these people, we're coming for them. And they started like describing the different businesses or different people who may or may have not taken money for these PPP loans. And it all sounded like black people. It all sounded like minorities, people of color, people who come from situations where they took advantage of something because they had nothing. Brett Favre, a wealthy man, a man who's made millions of dollars, could have or should have been able to take $6 million of his own money. Or because his cachet is so high, he should have been able to raise $6 million to build a volleyball facility at the University of Southern Mississippi. Instead, he said, no, I won't use any of my money. I won't use any of the money of my friends who may be able to help me in this situation. I will defraud the United States government and get welfare money that's supposed to be going to people who can't even pay for food. And I'm going to use that to build a stadium at my school that doesn't even generate revenue. It doesn't even generate volleyball is a non-revenue generating sport. So there's no way to even recoup the money that was spent on the stadium through the use of the stadium. Not $6 million. It's not like he built a volleyball facility with 12 or 16 courts that could then be rented out and you can get the money back and it's going to pay it forward. No, it's not a business that was started that will then pay taxes. None of that. Nothing that feeds back into the community. It's simply a glamour. It's simply a glamour shot. Hey, look what we built for this team that doesn't generate any money. And I would be okay with that if you use your own money, but you can't use government money earmarked to go to people who really need it in order to fund something that is not needed. And yet, in these past 12 hours, I've heard more about Ime Udoka and his relationship with a woman with the Celtics. I've heard more about that than this man who should be thrown in jail. That's the world we live in, ladies and gentlemen. Because what happens in the dark always comes to the light, especially when you're dark. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. We do this thing a few times a week. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree. But whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. If you're joining me on the YouTube channel, you know what to do. Like, subscribe. Till next time. Peace.